All right, back here on Sportsline, college basketball note to pass along. Tennessee, a big winner tonight over Florida Atlantic. The Vols pulling away in the second half against the Owls. Nice win for Rick Barnes' crew. They've got some talent there. They've got some guys who can put up some numbers in terms of scoring and putting the ball through the hoop. The question will be, can they get everything in line and play good enough defense to really make something out of this season? But this is not a true rebuilding job. There's some talent there for Rick Barnes, and I think he's doing a pretty good job so far. The Lady Vols, by the way, just underway in Palo Alto, a huge game tonight. Nationally ranked showdown against the Stanford Cardinal. So that'll be a good matchup as well. We can talk some college hoops if you want. Also talk some college football. The Vols football team, of course, getting ready for the Outback Bowl, January 1st, New Year's Day morning, really, 11 o'clock Central start time against Northwestern down there. Could be a huge chance to cap off the season. Also, Vanderbilt getting rid of some assistant coaches yesterday as Derek Mason tries to kind of carve out a new direction for what he wants to do after winning just 3 and now 4 games in his first 2 years at the helm of the Commodores. Talking a lot of Titans, though. Put out our question in the first segment tonight, kind of the question of the night. We're going to see the Patriots this week, and they've got the foundation in place, organization from the top down. Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady. That's the way to do it. Have a consistent, great owner. Have a coach that's been there for a long time and has a system in place that can work, and then have a really good quarterback. Doesn't necessarily have to be a great quarterback, although Brady certainly is, but have that guy in place that can win you football games. So my question tonight is a lot of questions about the ownership in Tennessee, certainly questions about the head coaching position since you have an interim coach and will have to make a decision at the end of the season about him or moving to someone else. But what about that quarterback position? They drafted Marcus Mariota to be that guy. One season in, is he that guy to you? Can he be the franchise quarterback? And what is the ceiling for Marcus Mariota at that quarterback position for the Tennessee Titans? Our phone lines are open, 737-7767. Let's go to Tiffany. Tiffany, good evening. You're up on Sportsline.
Hey, Steve. I'm so glad to see you.
Thank you.
I just want to change it up for just a minute and send a shout-out to the Braves and say I'm really looking forward to the NHL All-Star Weekend. That's going to be so awesome for Nashville to have all of that talent here. And I know everybody is all about Golden State. ESPN, they say Steph Curry is the greatest thing since sliced bread. But how much, what do you think about Duncan and Manu retiring, and how much time do you think Tony Parker got left? Thank you.
All righty. Thank you, Tiffany. We appreciate the call. I think it's going to be interesting in the West. At the moment, the Warriors look like the best team in the NBA. There's no question about that. They are just so good with their ball movement and have so many shooters that can hurt you each and every night. And Steph Curry has been phenomenal. Just a transcendent player with his skill and also his personality off the court. He's been a great ambassador for the NBA. I think the Warriors are the clear-cut favorite at the moment, but I still believe that Western Conference is a difficult ask for anybody to go through. And the Spurs have plenty of pieces. They have plenty of guys who have been there before. Yes, they're getting long in the tooth, but haven't we thought that many times before? That, the Spurs, they're old. Duncan's too old. Parker's too old. Those guys are too old. They've got no shot. And then they've proved us wrong. So I think the way they've started this season is absolutely remarkable. They've just been completely overshadowed by a Warriors team that won their first 24 games. Rightfully so, probably, because the Warriors have been that good. But I think the Spurs are a really good basketball team. And at the moment, probably the second best basketball team in the NBA. So don't think that it's just going to be a walkthrough for the Warriors to the NBA title, because they're going to have to beat some pretty good teams over and over this season in the West, and then still go and win that NBA title that everybody now expects them to do after what they did last year and the way they've started this season. And to add on to your topic about the NHL All-Star Game, I think this is going to be a great thing here in the middle of the winter for Nashville. Historically, when you look at the way Nashville's responded to hockey, is up until early January, it's a football town. It is a football town, whether you're talking about the NFL or college football. People are all in on that, and they don't really turn their attention to basketball or hockey until that really wraps itself up, or at least you move deep into the playoffs where there's not many teams left, not many games left in the National Football League, and people start to turn their attention. But when they do, they get behind it. If the Preds are good, people gravitate in February and March and April and into the playoffs to the Preds, and it becomes a really, really great environment. Not just a good environment, which I think it is almost every night over there at Bridgestone Arena, but Smashville becomes a really great environment in the National Hockey League at that point. I think this is going to speed up that process, because you're going to get into January after what has been a disappointing season for the Titans at the very least, and you're going to start talking about hockey. You're going to start talking about this event with the biggest stars in the NHL here in Nashville. I think the format change is great, although the fact that the Predators are just terrible apparently at the 3-on-3 overtimes right now, 0-5 now after losing again last night to the Flames in overtime. I think it's going to be an exciting format. You're going to have a lot of goals. It's going to be fun, but it's not going to feel quite like the exhibition that NHL All-Star Games have devolved into over the last several years. There's going to be something on the line for these guys. It's a big money pot and a lot of bragging rights there. So I think you're going to see some pretty intense action. Obviously, the skills competition is going to be great. And I think the city of Nashville has really stepped up in the way that they're going to do this. Music City Center is going to be a hockey center for the weekend. So many cool activities there, performances there. And then the Winter Park. What a great idea with the skating rink and performances and all that, which really that's going to be a month-long process out there leading up to the All-Star Game that's already begun. And I think that's really exciting, a cool thing for the city of Nashville. I'm not sure if we're ever going to get temperatures that are cold enough to make you feel like you want to go ice skating. 60 degrees every day around here right now, which I'm okay with, by the way. But if we ever get some of those winter temperatures, I think that's going to be a really, really cool thing that they've done that a lot of people are going to want to go out and take advantage of right downtown here. Affordable prices, too. The All-Star Game itself isn't the most affordable thing in the world, but some of the other things you can do and you can take your family to and enjoy the fact that it's now here in Nashville for the first time ever and not have to spend an arm and a leg to do it. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's go back to the phones now. And Steve. Hello, Steve.
Hey, Steve. Welcome back, my dear friend.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Man, I know it's been a fight for you, and I'm so glad you're doing better. And I know we all prayed for you. I wanted to make sure I said that tonight. But, you know, it's an interesting question about Mariota. You know, I was looking at an article today about Heisman Trophy winners, and I know you read that stuff too, but,
sure.
You know, it's interesting. Peyton Manning, you know, had a 3-13 record his rookie year. That's something you know, of course.
Yep.
And Mariota had a perfect debut. First time since 1960. So, you know, I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's got the skill. I think the Titans are going to have to learn. You know, you can tell me what you think about it, but I think the Titans are going to have to learn how to build a team around a quarterback and stop trying to build a quarterback around the team. And if they can find that kind of a guy in Mariota and then build the team around him, I think the Titans can be strong. Against the Patriots, I don't think it's going to be pretty.
Yeah, that one could be ugly.
So, I don't know. You want the Patriots to lose. You root for them to lose, and somehow most of the time they find a way to win. And I know it may not be pretty, but I still think that the Titans need to settle down, decide who they want to coach this team, build the team around the quarterback, and just let it go. What do you think?
I agree with that, and I've said for a while, Steve, we appreciate the call, and I certainly want to thank you for the prayers and so many people out there for the prayers throughout this fall as well. Much, much appreciated. But to deal with the Titans, I've said for a long time that the quarterback process, they kind of got it backwards. Yes, they drafted quarterbacks high, but they've struggled to have a great plan in place, and I think they've always thought, let's build the team, and we'll just find that quarterback. I think finally now there is a plan in place to say we have to identify the quarterback, and Marcus Mariota was the guy. Because I don't think a year ago right now, if you certainly polled the coaching staff, I don't think their first thought was let's draft Marcus Mariota or let's draft a quarterback. I think that became something once they saw him, once the scouts came back. I think that became a real focus of this guy's too good to pass up. And they got sold on him and they went after him. But for the first time, I think we sort of see them having a true plan of saying, all right, we've got the quarterback now. Let's go do everything else. And they've got a lot left to do. There's no question about it. But I think there are some really good signs of what you've seen from Mariota. You mentioned the perfect day against Tampa Bay to start the season. He's also got, I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but he's in the upper teens, I think 18 maybe, of touchdown passes to this point of the season. That's within striking distance. It would take 3 pretty good games here at the end of the year, but that's within striking distance of the all-time rookie record for an NFL quarterback. And he could do it on a team that at the moment is in line for the #1 draft pick. He's had some very good, very productive days, and he's had very few days where he looked lost. Frankly, this weekend against the Jets maybe was some of the most confused snaps we've seen from Mariota. And the Jets are a very, very multiple front defense that do a lot of different things, disguise their coverages, and disguise their blitzes. It's a difficult team to prepare for a veteran quarterback, let alone a rookie. And while his day wasn't great, he ends up 21 of 34 for 274 yards, no touchdowns, but only 1 interception. So while it wasn't a great day, it certainly wasn't a catastrophic day either. I think Jameis Winston probably now, based off of the way the season has gone for the Bucs, I think Jameis is probably going to win Rookie of the Year voting because the stats are good and the team is better. But when you look at what Marcus Mariota has done, I think the Titans got the better quarterback. I think Marcus Mariota is a better quarterback than Jameis Winston. So out of last year, they certainly got the best guy. And I think he's one of the better guys we've seen over the last few years. I think he absolutely is the type of guy you can build around. And this year, he's demonstrated flashes with almost no help. His line has been a mess in front of him. He got sacked again 5 times on Sunday. His wide receivers have been injured and lacked production even when they've been out there. And no running game to speak of. About the only guy that has really had a good season on the offensive side of the ball is Delanie Walker. And he deserves Pro Bowl consideration for the season he's had. Above 70 catches again, single-season franchise record for catches by a tight end, and he still has 3 games to go. It has been a remarkable year for Delanie Walker, again, with not much else around him and a lot of people keying on him. But those are the 2 bright spots of the Titans' offense. And to think that Mariota has been good enough in a rookie season with nothing else around him to be considered a bright spot, I think you have to be very encouraged by if you're the Titans. All right, we got to take a break here. 737-7767 is the number. We would love to hear more from you on that topic. Do you agree? Do you think Marcus Mariota is the guy that can be the franchise quarterback of the Tennessee Titans? And what's the ceiling for him? How good can he be? We'll get more of your phone calls. We'll also hear from Marcus coming up here on the program. So stay tuned. You're watching Sportsline here on News Channel 5+.